Today I stand before you as a pastor who's been deeply moved by the teachings of Dr. King, a man whose legacy, it transcends time and whose wisdom continues to guide us in our journey towards equality and justice. As a pastor, I have grappled with the complexity of racial injustice, often feeling the weight of my own skin color and the privileges it affords. But through Dr. King's words, I have learned that my role is to not stand on the sidelines, but to actively engage in the fight against racism and inequality. Dr. King taught us that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And as a pastor, I recognize that silence is not an option. It is my duty. It is my voice to amplify the cries for justice and to stand in solidarity with those who have been marginalized and oppressed. I have learned to love. I have learned that love is not passive, but love is active. Love is not blind, but it sees injustice and it stands up against it. Love does not discriminate, but embraces all, regardless of their color, creed, or background. As a pastor, my calling is to spread this love, to teach about this love, to live it, and to ensure that it reaches every area of our community and our world. Dr. King's dream was not just for a world where black and white children could hold hands, but for a world where justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like mighty streams. His dream was for a world where every person, regardless of their race, is afforded the same dignity, respect, and opportunities. In my journey, I have been challenged to confront my own biases, to listen more and to speak less, to understand that my experiences do not mirror those of everyone around me. I have learned the importance of empathy, of putting myself in the shoes of those who have walked a path that is marked by discrimination and prejudice. Dr. King's message was clear. Our destinies are intertwined, and I recognize that my liberation is bound by the liberation of my black and brown brothers and sisters, and I cannot be free while others are chained by injustice and inequality. Today, as we remember Dr. King, let us recommit ourselves to this vision. Let us work towards a world where Black Lives Matters is not a slogan, but it is a reality.
Note that Dr. King did not say, "Make America great again." He emphasized the importance of unity of purpose and inclusion. Everyone in this room, every person in this community contributes greatly to the fabric of this land that we call home. Invest your savings wisely. Share your stories. Share your experiences. Write the check. Fuel institutional change. Care for and love your brothers and sisters. Educate our youth on the broad experience that is the American experience. Write the check. Write the check. One of the most powerful gifts that humankind has been blessed with is the gift of storytelling. My life journey has taken me from the Panama Canal, an amazing engineering marvel, to an ancient monastery in the hills overlooking Lake Ohrid in Macedonia, to the Roman Colosseum, to Checkpoint Charlie in Berlin, to the Greek Parthenon, to an isolated military outpost on the Serbian border. Each of these experiences serve as the threads that bind my moral tapestry. All these experiences have been deposited in my global citizen account. When cashed in, they add richness, depth, and understanding for my world language students as they learn what decency, inclusion, respect, and love look like across the world. I write checks against my life's bank account in the hopes of inspiring them to continue the societal changes that Dr. King spoke and wrote about during his life. I ask you this: what will you invest in the generations that follow you? Save with purpose. Invest with intent. changed your world?
It was Dr. King's vision and understanding of the worth and value of the African American community that fueled his systematic approach to change. We all know that he practiced and preached nonviolence. We also know that he practiced written and verbal articulation of research and insights that were grounded in history and economics and philosophy, what we know as the liberal arts. As a liberal arts educator and administrator, I know that when we educate young people, we help them to see their value and their worth. We help them to make sense of the world around them, and in doing so, we help them to find their confidence in their place in it. In my role at the University of Mary Washington, I'm responsible for fueling the development of programs and structures to help young people prepare for successful lives and careers. And it's in this role that I continue, and I'm continuously reminded of the economic impact of education and the life-changing role that education and career readiness play for young people. If we can help our young people to make sense and find where they'd like to be in the economic landscape, then we can help them to develop and nurture their own dreams for themselves, for their communities, and for our nation. I recognize that Dr. King, much like my colleague Joe said earlier, has been gone longer than I've been alive. And as I celebrate my 50th year in life, I realize how far we've come, and yet how far we still have in this journey toward freedom and justice for all. It's in his legacy that we'll continue to prepare young people to take up this journey. And it's in their journey that I'm able to find hope and that I'm able to look toward the future. I look toward the youngest generations to not only engage with each other based on the content of a person's character, I'm also looking to them now, at this stage in the journey, to recognize the structures and the systems that create inequality and to make them just.